Hey guys, welcome to Unorganized with Shawnee Shore. I'm done announcing what episode we're on because I get confused and I do these a lot back to back. So
It's hard. You're past one hand now.
exactly,
It gets a little
I
tough.
think I am officially past one hand. So now that's like past my counting knowledge. But Ryan Anderson is the guest today. How you been, Ryan?
What's up? I'm good. How you been, Sean?
Oh, living life, living the dream, trying to get through.
Making
But,
podcasts?
Making a podcast, doing my thing on there. How's work going for you over at Ocean County Power Sports?
Busy.
Busy?
That's a simple way to put it. Very busy. Every day. Usually 6 days a week.
That's rough, but I mean that's something you enjoy doing, right? Haven't you you're a dirt bike guy, or what do people call that?
Like motocross, I guess. Grew up riding dirt bikes. Started racing. Stopped for a little bit. Started again. And then
Are you currently on like a racing circuit or anything?
no, I don't race anymore. I show up to open track days.
Okay.
Go ride around. Hit some jumps and have some fun.
So what exactly goes into like a motor sport race, or like what is that? Because I've seen like highlights. It seems pretty intense and probably dangerous.
Definitely the fair share of danger. It's not if when you get hurt. It's collarbones, tib, fib tend to like to break a lot. Been very fortunate the past few years though, so I can't complain there.
Okay.
Did my collarbone like 3 times, but what goes into it? You buy a dirt bike,
Okay, that's a good start.
buy a full set of gear, boots, knee braces, helmet, whole 9 yards. You need something to bring the bike places, and you show up to your local track, sign up, and
You just kind of just get after it.
and then 40 guys line up on a gate, and then you all go for the first corner as fast as you can. And
That just sounds terrifying.
it's fun.
I mean,
It's fun. Like when you're doing it, everything else kind of drops off, so it's cool. It's just adrenaline.
so how did you get started doing that? How old were you when you started?
Racing, I think 10.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up down in Bayville and all the sand pits and everything. Everyone kind of rode dirt bikes and quads. So I think I was
Gotcha.
like 4 years old. My dad came home with a quad, rode that, and then I got a bigger one, and then I got a dirt bike, and then I was like, I want to go race. But I think it all stemmed from I started racing BMX bikes when I was 3. My 3rd birthday, I got signed up. I was riding a bike with no training wheels, and my dad brought me to my first race. So I got the competitive edge there. Started just riding for fun in sand pits and trails on the ATVs, and then got a dirt bike and wanted to race that.
That's, I mean, at 3 years old, I barely even knew if I could walk. I think I was like falling down steps in my parents' like townhouse at that point.
I still tell people to this day I ride 2 wheels better than I walk. So
I mean, that's interesting. I can't even imagine. I don't think I've ever actually been on any type of motorized bike before. I think the only thing I've been on is one of those like electric bikes, and I drove it like 10 feet, and I'm like, wow, that's actually pretty quick, and I got off of it.
I've known you for a few years, probably better off.
Yeah.
Maybe the electric scooters in like Asbury.
No, I actually got on one of those one time, and I didn't realize that they didn't work past like 10 o'clock at night, and I had a few drinks, and I was just like I actually used it as if it was a Razor scooter. I was just like pedaling, like pushing my way through Asbury, even though I think like the brake was on or something. I was just forcing it to go. I was convinced that it was like I was doing the right thing though.
Yeah, probably not.
No, not at all. I don't think I was doing anything like that.
Funny story. Me and a coworker, we were in Charlotte last summer for a dealer meeting, and same thing. They got those electric scooters everywhere. So, bunch of dirt bike kids, because that's who works at dealerships for the most part, and there's a bunch of like pro riders and stuff there for the dealer meeting for the manufacturers. They had the electric scooters. So there was a college town probably 4 miles out from where we were staying. We went out to go get drinks and everything. They shut off at 11 o'clock. So we're 4 miles, 5 miles away from our hotel. We go out. We're drunk. Hop on the scooters, and they're just not working.
Not working.
Not working at all. Neither of us were smart enough to get an Uber or anything. So we walked. Got back to the hotel room at like 1:30 in the morning.
Why were they not? They were shut off because of the
They were
time?
shut off because of the curfew.
I mean, I don't know why they put a curfew on those things. I think they should be up all night. I mean,
think so too.
especially in a town like that I need to get around. I don't know where I was going. I think I was just going towards the beach.
Which I think they shut off if you get too far away from like the zone or whatever.
Yeah, no, you definitely can't take it out of town. I think they definitely have some type of like mapping in there that they shut off like if you leave their little radius.
Try to steal it, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely. But we used to work together at JSS as well for quite a while.
Yes, we did.
I don't know how many years that was, and we had a little thing going back in the day. We started
two guys,
one scoop.
And you made me look 3 foot tall in every video.
Yep, I do tend to do that. And then COVID hit.
COVID hit, and
I was really looking forward to that little journey that we were going to set us on.
It was going great. We were filming videos all the time.
I don't even know I don't think we actually had a goal either.
The goal was to just make videos and be funny. And we were going to burger places. We weren't even just doing supplements.
No, we were doing like burger places. We went to Bev's gym in Long Island.
Yes, we went to McDonald's to get a Shamrock Shake.
Oh, we did do that. I forgot about that one.
It wasn't a Shamrock Shake. It was like a Frosty that they gave
Yeah, it was a McFlurry. It was a McFlurry.
Yeah.
That's actually the first time I ever had a mint ice cream, and or with Oreos in it, and it was actually good.
And the whole time you're like, this isn't going to be good. Mint and ice cream just don't go together.
I did not think mint and ice cream go together, and I still have that thought, except for that McFlurry that I got that one time.
That wasn't a Shamrock Shake.
I completely forgot about that, and then nah, man, COVID really killed that because I thought we were going to do something good. We got a lot of good feedback right off the jump when we first posted the video.
And being at Jersey Shore Supplements at the time, it's like we knew so many people in the industry.
Yep, we were working together in the store, so people were coming in talking about it. It was cool.
Yeah,
COVID ruined everything.
Yeah,
because I mean, how long were we going? Because I know we went to the city like the week before the shutdown, I think, together. And remember, the city was like a ghost town.
Yeah, because that's when all the talk started of the shutdown, and like there was nobody out. We got cool pictures though.
We did. My parents were like pissed at me. They're like, "Why are you going to the city during this pandemic or whatever's like
everyone's gonna die?
Whatever's about to happen. Why are you going there like right now?" I'm like, "Well, I don't think anyone's actually there right now."
We went to that burger place.
I have no clue what it's called.
It was called Burger, BRGR.
How do you remember that?
Because I looked it up the other day to go back, and they're closed.
Probably due to COVID.
Most likely. And also because we didn't get to make a video out of it, I think.
Yeah, I don't think.
Granted, we went there before COVID, so we could have made a video.
I think a lot of times that we went places, we ended up sometimes we would forget to take the actual video.
Yeah. We took a lot of coffee reviews, too.
We were doing coffee reviews at the time.
Those videos never got posted.
Did they not?
I don't think so.
I think we were just doing stories about them or something. I know we did like pre-workout reviews, and we would go to the gym and say how it felt and everything.
Yeah, and we did protein.
Mm-hmm.
But we were going to coffee shops. I remember clear as day. We went to the Rook next to
in Cold Snack.
Yeah, next to Delicious Orchards, and you burnt your mouth on the first sip and just paused the video right away because you're like, I can't drink this.
Yeah, I couldn't taste it. If you burn your mouth on the first sip of coffee, you probably can't. You're not going to be able to taste anything the rest of the day.
No, you're done.
It was terrible. But yeah, no, we did that, and then I think that was the day that we were going up to Long Island to go to that gym.
Is that when we went to Bev's?
I think so. I think we stopped there first, or we might have went to another gym. I don't remember.
That was a good gym.
That was a good gym.
I like that.
Yeah, no, that was a cool gym in wherever that was, in like Long Island, New York, or whatever.
Yeah, it's part of Long Island. I just remember it started with an S.
Yeah, Siaset, I think is what it is, or whatever that is.
That's how you say it. Yeah.
I probably not.
That's how you spell it.
But do you remember the ride back
I was just gonna bring that up.
We were like driving back, and some guy just completely cut me off, and I like.
No, that is not what happened.
What happened then?
Some guy was weaving in and out of traffic in this giant Hummer. We're in your little like Infinity or whatever. And you were like, I'm not letting this guy cut in and out of traffic. So you cut him off, and then he tried to drive us off the road, threw something at the car. I think we hit the curb at one point.
No, I definitely didn't hit the curb because we were in like, there was a huge shoulder.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I just remember we almost went off the road. I was scared.
Yeah, the guy.
Then all of a sudden something hit the side of the car, and it might have been a water bottle. It sounded heavy.
He was a very angry fella.
Yeah, and that was on that main highway once you get into the city.
I don't remember what it was.
It has that sign, the forget about it sign.
Do you remember? I don't remember that at all.
I remember it clear as day.
That's awesome.
I remember everything up until COVID. Then everything's a blank.
No, I mean we had a little good thing going. We were probably gonna. I don't know what it would have ended up being because I remember my favorite thing we did was the was when COVID got announced. We did the OptiGreens video, and we wore like the rubber gloves to make it seem.
We went all. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
We got the big rubber gloves.
we got the rubber gloves. We did.
Didn't we get a? Did we order suits?
I was gonna order a hazmat suit and I didn't.
I know we talked about it.
We talked about it and we didn't do it. I mean, I wonder if Brian would have ever actually let us post on the JSS page with the stupid stuff we were doing, or he would.
100%.
I feel like he was just letting us do our own thing and just like, I'll shut these guys up. Like, let them just do whatever they're going to
Let them do
do.
what they want. I'm not reposting anything.
No, we had no clue what we were doing.
They were good videos though.
No, it was fun. I mean, I think it was just two dudes basically hanging out
Yeah.
and recording whatever we wanted.
Yeah. Recording, like going to the gym, supplements, you burning your mouth on coffee,
I mean,
burgers.
yeah, it was definitely a good time. Like, I remember doing this St. Patrick's Day video at Johnny Mac's where we just
Did we ever? We did post that.
we did post
That
that.
probably shouldn't have been posted.
No, that was a good one. I think it was fun. We didn't like do anything bad in the video. I think
That
we
was all on the side.
yeah, someone was like feeding you a French fry in the video. That was like the highlight of the whole video. And then we did I remember we did an Irish car bomb.
Yes.
And I forgot what I yelled in the video. I had some type of weird quote that I used.
Should I pull it up?
No, I mean it was something like it doesn't matter how you it doesn't matter how fast you get to the pot of gold. All that matters is you beat the leprechauns. Which
I think that was it.
that was a great quote. And I used that and then we just I let it rip.
Yeah, and then everything, I don't want to say went downhill. Our state of mind might have went downhill, and things got it was fun after that.
It was.
We ended up at Asbury Ale House.
We did. We went to Asbury Ale House. We went back to Johnny Mac's. Yeah, it was a long day. I remember that. That was like St. Patrick's Day Asbury Parade. That had to be right before the COVID shutdown, right? Or
Yeah, when did that was May, the COVID shutdown?
no, it was March for sure.
So it had to be, what, 2 weeks prior?
It must have been. It must have been.
There's no way it was the year prior.
I don't think it could have been the year prior because we didn't start it because we would have had a lot more videos for Two Guys One Scoop if we would have started a
that's
year
true.
before.
Yeah, so 2 weeks before the COVID shutdown,
Mm-hmm.
had the best weekend.
Yep,
I wouldn't say the best one. My 24th birthday.
that was a wild one. That was a hell of a night. We went out to
Snorted a shot of vodka.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that. I mean,
Because you told me it smelled like tequila or something. And I
No,
was like,
I
I
didn't- I
smell
definitely
it,
didn't do
and
that.
it just went up my nose.
So I went to we went out to Wicked Wolf in Hoboken
Yes.
for that. We got like an Airbnb in the middle of the hood. We did no background checking. We went to like the hood of Jersey City.
It was the cheapest one.
We had to park like a mile away. We're walking through. Finally get to the Airbnb. You know, we pregame a little bit. We go to Wicked Wolf. We have a lot of fun at Wicked Wolf.
Do I get into like the bad stuff that I did?
I don't know what bad stuff we did. I don't think we need to get into it, but we definitely got a little messed up, you know, being young guys, 20, 24. We were both having fun. I remember getting back that night and we tried to cook pizza bagels. And I don't think I put them in the oven. I put the timer on my phone and I was like convinced that it was on, and I pulled them out, and I think I was the only one eating frozen pizza bagels because I never turned the oven on.
I came out of the room, grabbed one, and was like, these are still frozen. They were like barely thawed out because the oven was never on.
No, the oven wasn't on.
We'll say it didn't work.
I don't know if it didn't work.
So your skills were there. It just didn't work.
Well, I mean,
We were in the hood.
Full circle. I think when I had a roommate 2 years ago, we were living in Neptune. We came back from Asbury one night, and I offered to cook us pizza bagels again. And he took the short way out. He wanted to just get them over with, and he cooked them in the microwave, and they're terrible. I put them in the air fryer, which I didn't know the air fryer has a lot stronger of a cooking strength than if it's in bake mode. So I was like, oh, you're just taking the short way out. You're an idiot. Like, yours are going to be terrible. Mine are going to be great. Mine came out like black and hockey puck like.
So, Two Guys, One Scoop. Which is better, frozen pizza bagels or burnt pizza bagels?
Well, I didn't eat the burnt ones, and I wasn't drunk that night. So
So
the frozen ones were definitely better because I was definitely a little intoxicated, and it made it better.
when you're intoxicated, everything tastes a little bit better.
For sure. I mean, I have a story where I was out in Colorado one year, and we went out to the bars. Went out to like a couple bars out there. I know we went to like Sundown Saloon. There's like this tequila bar that me and my cousins would go to, and there's like this guy with a street cart making gyros, or what are they called?
Euros?
GYROS, the Greek things.
Yeah. I say gyros.
I say gyros.
And everyone says you're wrong. It's euros.
Okay, euros are a form of payment in the European countries. So I wasn't eating those. And I got like a steak gyro, and it was amazing. Probably the best thing I ever tasted. And then it was so good, I wanted to get a chicken one to see how it was. I ate that too, and I thought that was it was just amazing experience. Like whoever.
Did the chicken one up the steak?
No, I think they were just equally as good, or they equally didn't have any flavor because
Because you couldn't taste anything.
I couldn't taste anything anyway.
So everything's the best thing ever.
For sure.
It just has to look good.
Exactly. That's
Which at that point,
just has to look good.
Cross-eyed and everything
looks amazing. Any type of food, that's what I need.
And St. Patty's Day, some of the decisions you made because everything looked good.
Exactly. I stand by everything I did. But so what else are you up to now besides working over at Ocean County Power Sports?
I'm back in the gym.
That's good.
Back in the gym. I would say like 6 months into COVID shutdown. I, with help from someone, got a bunch of equipment, basically built a gym in my basement, used it for a few months, and then just kind of lost motivation for it. Built basically a full gym in the basement, lat pull down, bench, incline bench, shoulder press, leg extension, like put everything down there, little deadlift platform, everything. I think you came over once or twice, right?
I came over in the beginning of it.
Yeah, we took pictures, and you said you want to get prison jacked. And that was the perfect spot to get prison jacked.
That's what I said, and then I got my own gym in my garage.
Yes. Yeah, you got all the Rogue equipment.
Yeah, I got a Rogue power rack. I got like the Rogue lever system, so I could build like a hammer strength machine in the garage, and then that was pretty much it. And I got a bamboo bar too.
That's right.
The bamboo bar was awesome.
I thought it was terrible. It was too hard.
Yeah, no, that's what I liked about it. It was like I was like, this thing's impossible. Like when else am I ever gonna do this in my life?
I feel like I should have been in the NFL or something.
Yeah, no, dude. Brian and I used that for like a year at Jersey Shore Fitness Shop. We would carry it in the gym every morning and do like some type of movement with it. And
I was shaking like a leaf. I couldn't do it.
Well, because you didn't use it as much as me. Like obviously in the beginning when I started with it, using the bamboo bar. For anyone that doesn't know what a bamboo bar is, it's like literally just a bar made of bamboo, so it's very flimsy, and you use resistance bands along the side of it, and you. Like the weights bounce and the bar is also bouncing, so there's like absolutely no stability whatsoever. So I started using that in the garage. Obviously, when I first started, I couldn't do anything with it. It was terrible. But I kept going with it, and eventually me and my friend John, who I worked out with over COVID, were like getting strong with it, and I felt very grounded because I would squat with it too.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
No, I don't think so. I just felt like it just works all these different muscles that I don't think get worked out in like using any other thing.
Do you still have it?
Yes, it's still in my garage.
I'll have to give it another try.
I'm down.
I'm gonna have to try it.
Well,
I think I only give it one attempt.
We'll have to bring it to a gym somewhere. We should. But what gym have you been going to? Because it looks really cool.
So, I live like an hour and a half southwest of here.
Okay.
So Giant Fitness is big down there.
Mm-hmm.
Was going there the past probably almost a year. Really good hours, bunch of locations. Equipment was just okay. So 2 weeks ago, switched over to Four Seasons.
Where's that?
It is Glassboro.
Okay.
So like 10 minutes from the house. They have a bunch of Pilates equipment.
Panada.
Yes.
Okay.
The Italian stuff.
Yeah, Panada is definitely not Pilates.
Well.
Yeah, no, that's what Iron Revolution has a lot of.
Okay, so very, very strange. First time you use any of the machines, there's like 8 levers all over the place.
There's a lot of they're very adjustable.
Yes. So me being, short, it's really good because I can adjust everything to my height. But very confusing the first few times you use it. But the equipment's awesome. The equipment is absolutely awesome. Better lighting in that gym, which is good.
So is it kind of like probably what Iron Revolution is, but out there?
Not as cool.
Okay.
Down there, some gyms that are like Iron Revolution, there's Wolf Fitness.
I've never heard of that.
We went to probably 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Went and did that, and then went to Tony Beef's. Got some burgers. Very good. I don't know if you ever went to Tony Beef.
I haven't.
It's delicious.
I have not spent a lot of time in Southwest Jersey.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you. It's kind of a ride, and there's nothing to do down there.
Well, I worked there for like 2 weeks.
Where?
I had a job at like a beverage distributor doing
right.
outside sales, and my boss told me that I was going to be doing the Jersey Shore area in North Jersey when I first started. So the first week, I went around to the area of the shore. Like I know like all the gym people here and like a lot of the businesses from being around my whole life. So I like got all the information like, oh, this is our competition. You told me we can undercut all the prices, blah, blah, blah. Like I'm ready to do it. And he's like, oh, there's competition there? No, we're going to have you go to like this area, Philly and Delaware.
Which is basically that's where I live.
Yeah, I'm like
in that corner.
I'm like,
New Jersey.
well, I live all where you told me the territory was going to be. So I'm not moving down here, and I'm not like, you're not paying me enough mileage to come down there every day. This is not going to work out.
And just the time travel.
The travel time was terrible, and my luck at that time. I think the week I was supposed to go to Philly was the Sunday night. I got the notification that bridge collapsed.
Yeah, because the truck caught on fire or something, right?
The truck caught on fire in the underpass or something and burnt half the bridge down. I was calling my boss the next morning, like, do you still want me to go there, or can I just like kind of attack this area and like get some business, because I had some sales already in this area and some leads. He's like, no, I need you to go to Philly. I'm like, dude, the bridge isn't up. Like, what do I do? I'm like, I don't know how to get to Philly. There's like one bridge on 195, and
he's like, just try another way.
Yeah, he had me. I drove like up to like Easton.
But you still went.
Oh, I still went all 5 days. I wasn't going to call out of work. I was new to the job, and I didn't have like a backup plan at that time. So I'm like, I need to work. So I drove all the way to like Easton, and I drove down that way, I guess.
Whatever road that is.
I have no clue what it was. I was driving through like all sorts of areas.
And then you got to deal with Philly traffic, because now all that traffic's getting rerouted all over the place.
Oh, it was a nightmare. It took me like 2.5 hours to get to Philly, which should be like an hour drive.
So you lasted 2 weeks.
Well, eventually I did my job the first week. I got a couple sales in this area. And then the second week, he sent me to Philly. But 3 days into the week, I think Wednesday was the last time he answered my call or text. So he just like completely stopped answering me.
Did you have a company vehicle?
No, I had my own car.
Yeah.
And
you're
so
better off.
Yeah, so eventually, like that Saturday, I emailed him. I'm like, hey, listen, like if you're having me go to this area, I need to be compensated better gas mileage and all that stuff. And I never heard back from him. It was just literally like no answer whatsoever.
Did you ever fill out like paperwork to work there?
Yes. I filled out paperwork. I mean, he paid me for my 2 weeks, but still never contacted me after that. I sent him orders after that of like customers that I had gotten, and they still hit me up like a couple weeks later for some drink orders.
So you're using your cell phone too?
Yes.
Yeah, it just doesn't sound like a great gig. Your own car.
Well, listen, dude, I had finished. I wasn't working at JSS anymore, and I needed something, and I didn't have much experience in the workforce because I had been at JSS for 7 years.
Forever.
And I didn't know how to get a job, how to apply to places. I was in my own little struggle. And then I think Matt called me and was like, yeah, I was talking to them at NutriBio, and they have an opening. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, would you want to work there? I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, give me an interview.
Or like, for NutriBio or
for NutriBio.
Okay. I was wondering how you got started there.
Yeah, so Matt told me that they had an opening, and I literally I was trying to schedule an interview or whatever, and the guy had there was like a conflict. He couldn't interview me like 2 times I scheduled it. And the third time, it was like the week that I was supposed to go to Philly, and I wasn't going to call out of work. So I basically just went all the way to Middlesex, New Jersey to do my interview at NutriBio, and then I drove to Philly after. and worked all day in Philly. Like, don't get me wrong, the external sales was fun, like driving around and going to see all those places.
Yeah, because you're traveling, you're going
traveling,
to like different supplement stores, especially
supplement stores and gyms and stuff. So I was
being at Jersey Shore Supplements for so long. It's like you get to see everything else.
Yeah, I was comfortable talking to the people, and I actually like kind of surprised myself that I wasn't. I always think of myself as like a shy, awkward person. I don't think I'm good at talking, but I actually turned out I was like all right at it. And yeah, just like the company wasn't a fit. I wasn't passionate. Like I don't even drink the energy drinks, so it wasn't very easy for me to sell them.
I actually got this from that guy you worked for.
I don't even think you did.
No, definitely not.
No, because we were a distributor. But yeah, just ended up not working out there. So I got set up at NutriBio, and I'm there now. I'm very happy.
How long have you been there now?
I think I started June 26th, I think. So
Been there for a few months.
Yeah, I've been there like
you just started
3 or 4 months. It feels like I've been there to me it feels like I've been there a little while.
I don't know, because like we were texting and you're like, oh, I'm going to NutriBio now because you were leaving the other job.
Yep.
I feel like that was only like 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's been like 3 or 4 months. Basically coming up on 4 months now. So
A lot better.
Yeah, definitely better. Way more at my ballpark, and then I think NutriBio is a big company, so I think there's room for growth, and I look forward to trying to grow within that company. Maybe I can do external sales if if that opportunity rises there. But
you have 2 weeks experience.
I do. That's all that matters.
That's gotta help.
2 weeks. I mean, I was in Philly. I know the area.
Yeah. I think you'll be great.
But I don't know if that's the road I'm going to go. I'm focusing on this now, not necessarily the podcast, but eventually starting my own nutrition coaching, and I should be starting.
I saw that page pop up.
Yeah, I should be starting that in the next month or two.
I mean, that between being able to do the podcast, I feel like you're doing a pretty good job at it. You're just starting, but you got all the equipment and everything, and
yeah, getting the equipment was really that's the funny thing about how I started the podcast. I literally just bought the equipment. I was sitting at NutriBio at work one day. It was a little bit slower. I didn't have anything to do. I was thinking about my nutrition coaching. I'm like, I'm moving out on my own too, and I'm not like the biggest person on going out anymore. And I'm like, what am I going to do for fun? And I wanted to think of getting my name out there. And I do miss being in retail and talking to people as much as I did now that I'm out of it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to start a podcast. I went on B&H Photo. I saw this podcasting kit, and I literally was it took me 3 days. I ordered it, and I'm like, okay, I kind of got to start it now. I bought all this stuff.
Yeah, you have to use it.
And
although you've done a few ventures where you just buy stuff and then don't use it.
Yeah, I did end up doing that a couple times, but
new cameras and.
Well, the cameras I always used, but I stopped using. Now I have my camera here because it's back in the game because I use it to podcast.
Wipe the dust off. And
exactly.
Put it to use.
But yeah, I just kind of started that, put my name out there, and I've been having fun with it. People I don't know if people realize I'll have anyone on to talk about anything.
And that's you have fun with it.
Exactly.
That's the biggest thing, just being genuine with it. You just
yeah, I don't really have a goal with the podcast. It's like the saying they say, shoot for the stars and land in the ocean.
Okay. I thought it was land on the moon or something, but
it might be.
The ocean's cool.
Yeah. What are you going to do on the moon?
Sharks.
What are you going to do in the moon? You can't breathe on there.
That's true.
You can swim in the ocean though. I'm gonna put that on a shirt maybe.
I think you should.
I don't know if anyone. You'll probably be the only person that'll ever buy that
Just
shirt.
get one in an XL.
That's it.
Sold out.
Exactly. Listen, I think that's that would be a good business model. Is just sell one shirt and then say you're sold out. It'll look like it's a really limited thing, and people really want it.
And then you post wearing it. That's the only one.
I'm the only one with my own apparel right now, as I'm trying to get it. I got to build a website for it, so.
Yeah. Are you going to build it yourself? Or are you going to have someone do it?
I'm up in the air because I want it to actually look good. And if I do it myself, I'll be able to figure it out eventually. It's just putting the time in to figure out how to build the website and all that stuff when I can just go on Fiverr and just tell someone what I want.
I was going to say Fiverr is great. Whether you need a video edited, a website made, whatever, there's somebody that will do it.
Yeah, no, I went on Fiverr to look it up, and there's people that will do anything on there.
Yeah, and I feel like website making has become easier. So if it's someone who knows how to do it, they're not going to charge a crazy amount.
No,
you don't need a super sophisticated website. It's just got to have apparel, have a link to Spotify, Apple Music or iTunes, whatever it's called. I don't know. I use Spotify.
It's like I'm on Apple Podcasts. I'm on YouTube and Spotify.
How'd you get signed up with all those? What do you have to do?
So it's actually really easy to start a podcast. I didn't know that. Yeah. No,
In case
so
anyone was wondering, it took about a half hour for the plugs to be plugged in for these mics.
I had to unplug the mic yesterday to do a Zoom podcast, and I just couldn't get the wires back into the right spots, and I was a little confused, but we got it going. But no, it's really easy to start because when I got this Tascam Mixcast, I got the bundle that came with the mics and the headphones, and it came with this 6 months free of a program called Buzzsprout. So that's like a podcast hosting software. So I just upload the audio into that, and then it goes on to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Through that, you can go on Google, you can go on Amazon too, and there's like a whole bunch of other ones. I don't even know what they are. I feel like everyone has Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
Yeah.
And I think the good thing about that one, from like the research that I did, there's other ones, but with Buzzsprout, it's like a cheap membership too. When the 6 months expires, but you own your podcast on Buzzsprout. I think the other ones, it was weird. Like they own the right. They own like the rights. So like if you had like a bunch of listeners or something, I think they would get like a cut of like advertisements or something. So I chose Buzzsprout just in case like something happens with it that I could end up like, monetizing it somehow, which I mean, I just want to own my own podcast. I don't want I don't want some website owning it for me.
No, because then it's
like they ended up
not
owning your
yours
content
anymore.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. I didn't understand it. So, and it was easy to understand.
Just not doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And like literally all you have to do to post the podcast, you just you record your video, or if I didn't want to record a video, I can just plug this Mixcast in and do audio only.
What do you do with the videos? Do you post the videos?
Yeah, the
I know you
videos
post some stuff on Instagram.
Well, videos go on YouTube.
Okay. I didn't know you were doing YouTube.
Yeah, there's the long format videos on YouTube so that you can like see us just sitting here talking. But the main thing was my goal with the video is just like making the clips, because clips are like huge these days. Not many people are listening to full podcasts or watch a full podcast.
No, and that's like, especially on YouTube. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I rarely listen to music unless I'm at the gym. And everything on YouTube it's not a lot of long format for the podcast people. It's all just like a clickbait, one little piece of the podcast that you watch. It's like a 5-minute, 10-minute clip, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that's it. But then it gets you to go to Spotify, goes wherever you listen to podcasts to go listen to the whole thing.
See, I'm a weirdo. I like watching podcasts more. Like every day I get home from work, usually if there's not like sports on or something, now that basketball's starting, I'll watch that. But I'll literally just watch a Joe Rogan podcast.
I listen to Joe Rogan I've listened to him probably for 5-6 years now. I've not once watched a video. I've seen like a clip or two.
See, my issue is like, I can listen to it too, but then if they're talking about something and they say they're showing it on the screen, then I get very frustrated that I'm not looking at the screen and seeing what they're talking about.
That's when I'm driving my car and I'm like, let me pull this up so I can watch the video. But then it's on Apple CarPlay. It doesn't even play the video.
It's a mess. But dude, Joe Rogans are amazing. Like I think the one that got me really hooked, I think was I don't know when it was, because I always watched him here and there. I think Erica Thompson, the honeybee girl. She's like a honeybee keeper in Texas.
Years ago, right?
It had to be like probably a year or two ago. She's like a honeybee keeper in Texas, and I don't know. I just loved watching that one because she was so passionate about honeybees or something, and she would like walk into full hives and just like put her hand in and grab a nest of bees
or whatever, and they're just surrounded by bees.
I can't stand bees. I was like watching it. I'm like, this is terrifying. She was a good one. I think this guy, something Tuttle, was like a bat guy.
Chris Tuttle?
No, not Chris Tuttle. It was like Merlin Tuttle or something. He like is like the world's #1 bat expert. And he was just talking about bats for like 2 hours.
I really liked, he had, I'm not even going to try to remember his name, but Boneyard, Alaska.
Okay.
It's a guy who has this property in Alaska that is said to like never have these prehistoric animals there, whatever. And they do this thing where they shoot the water into the mud and they get all these bones. And like there's those giant elephant things. What are the hairy elephants called?
Wildebeests?
No. Woolly mammoth.
I was close enough.
Woolly mammoth, like skulls and stuff, and saber-toothed tigers, and all this stuff that, like, whoever say that those never existed here, those never existed here. And then he said on the Joe Rogan podcast how they found other stuff that they can't go public with because then his property is going to get shut down.
That's interesting.
So apparently it's like old people.
Dude, I love, that's what I mean, that's kind of the concept I mean, I don't think I'm ever going to be a Joe Rogan podcasting, but dude, he's the number one podcast in the world. But just how he talks to so many people, just so many different interesting people, and he can talk to anyone about anything. I just really looked up to that. Like when I first started watching it, I said it, I was like, I wish I could have like known about this podcast or watched this when I was in high school, because I think it's such a great thing to hear all those different topics like that, and then you can choose like what you're passionate about. Because me coming out of high school, I had no clue what I wanted to do. Like luckily I stumbled into fitness. Luckily I stumbled into fitness and loved working out, and then I got lucky getting a job at JSS, and kind of I'm continuing to build on that. But like I think if I would have had that, I would have listened to some things and, you know, maybe found something that I'm like, wow, that's really interesting, I want to do that or something.
Because there's such a variety of people,
such a wide variety of people that it's like, it's crazy.
And you hear one thing, it's like, well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, like I
wonder if I can get into that.
I know, I watched all the ones with Mike Baker, the ex-CIA guy. I mean, that's a long stretch to get into the CIA, but his are cool.
Anything's possible.
I don't know about that, but no, I really love watching all that stuff and just getting little bits of information about all those different topics.
Yeah, because it's anywhere from, like I said, like CIA people, someone who's digging up bones in their backyard, doctors, like Rhonda Patrick's on all the time talking about the microplastics.
You talked about the Willy mammoths. Wasn't someone else on the Joe Rogan podcast saying that they're like genetically remaking them somehow, somewhere?
Yeah, one of the scientist people.
Yeah, it was one of the recent. I mean, it was within the past year. I don't know the name. I probably should remember these people's names. I watched this guy on quantum computers one time on Joe Rogan.
Yes,
I love that.
He had like an English accent or something.
I think he was like a Chinese guy.
Maybe it's the same.
Yeah, okay.
Same accent.
But he was talking about quantum computers and just how they're going to be part of the future and everything. And I love that topic.
Yeah, there's that. He had that guy that makes what are those things called? The pictures that people sell. It's like cryptocurrency, but it's not crypto.
NFTs.
Yes. He had the guy on there that makes NFTs.
NFTs are dead.
I mean, I figured.
I'm pretty sure. I don't. I never
got into them.
I never understood what they were. Two of my friends like knew about them, and I think they did well with them at one point. But to me, it was just like a animated picture, and I'm like, how is this worth money?
Yeah, some of them aren't even animated.
Yeah, I don't know what.
But they're like encrypted with a code, so you can't just screenshot it and say you own it.
My friend Chris Bader, he was like the one that was on the first episode of the podcast with me.
Yeah.
He's really into like finance and stuff, and he had this like really cool painting that he put in our living room when we lived together. And I guess what made the painting so valuable, like it's worth a lot now, is it's connected to an NFT or something.
Which I just don't get it.
I don't know.
It's just a picture on your phone or like on your
painting
computer.
Looks great. I mean, I bought flower. I love plants, so I bought a bunch of plant pots to match the painting. That's basically what I contributed.
What kind of colors was it? I imagine like...
It was like... Yeah, it was like blue. There was like some purple. I think there was just like a bunch of different colors in it. Like blue, purple, yellow, pink. Or it might have been a bunch of like digital images put together that like the deeper you looked into the picture, the more you saw.
More images inside
the images. There was a bunch of stuff, dude. It was cool looking. It was a cool conversation piece because everyone that walked in was like, what is this?
And you're like, NFT.
I'm like, what is that? I'm like, oh, it's a painting, or it's like a picture. I'm like, I don't know. It's I don't know what it was.
I think you need one right here.
I know. I've been thinking about putting something there, but that's where I put my little logo on my clips.
I was gonna say like a neon sign.
That's what I want to get a customized neon sign. That's on my Christmas list this year from Santa. Is the I think you can get like the custom just neon light signs, right? And you can get I can get my brand or my logo put on it.
Yeah, like I think you can do like Unorganized with like the logo underneath. Like I think you can do all of that. You can do whatever you want. It's 2023.
That is true. I got to do that.
They'll just make it.
I mean, that's awesome. I mean, there's so many things people can just make now.
Yeah, you could also just like edit it on there like you do.
Yeah, I
You
just
just
put
make it neon.
I just put a little PNG up on the video. That's the cool thing. Like I'm learning about doing the podcast. I learned how to edit videos a little bit and stuff.
Well, that's like I walked in here. You got this that just I don't know. I probably walked into like a DJ booth. I'm not really sure. You got the whole setup going. You got the lights.
Yeah, I have a light. I have everything. I mean, I don't know. When I started, I kind of figured I'm not going to just throw something and make it look like crap. And the feedback I've gotten has been awesome from people.
And that I feel like anything you start, especially now because there's so many podcasts, there's so many people posting gym content, or like I'm into all the show trucks and stuff, and there's so many people posting truck content. You got to do it right from the beginning.
Yeah,
if you
100%.
come swinging and you have a cheap camera and this and that, and if it's not good right off the jump, it's going to be really hard to gain traction.
Get traction. People aren't going to like even take a second glance at it. I actually was at the I was working over the week, or I wasn't working. I was out at Joe's on Sunday night. I just went and watched the Giants game. Had like 2 waters and left. It was cool. But
did you have lemon in your water?
Yes, I think I did have lemon in my water. I worked there, so it was cool to just go. I was going to hang out with my manager. A couple of the other people would work there. So one of the bartenders came up to me. He's like, "Oh, dude, like I saw you're doing a podcast. Like the production value looks really good. Like high. It actually looks legit." I'm like,
You're like, I bought a kit from B&H.
I basically told him like, "Yeah, dude, I just bought a podcasting kit and now I set it all up."
Did it come with like the stands and everything too?
Yeah, so I had the option to buy the mic arms, which these are the arms or podcast or the stands, and I went with the arms because they look cooler and that's what Joe Rogan uses.
And they move around.
Yeah, they move around pretty well, so I like that. But you said you're into like the truck shows now?
Yeah, so I've always had interest in it.
Okay.
But I guess never really had the money
Yeah.
to do anything like that. Because, I mean, I had a new truck every 6 months.
Yeah, you were
And I would
obsessed
just,
with
like,
buying new trucks.
Lift it, put wheels on it, and call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I had a brand new truck. I got rid of that. Someone at work offered me more money than what I paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
Sold it to him. He wrote me a check. That was that. And my best friend stationed up at Fort Drum had this truck. Bought it from him pretty cheap.
Okay.
And then all the extra money, I just used it to do a bunch of stuff to it. So it's got giant wheels on it. It's got a bunch of lights all over the place underneath it. It has almost like 900 horsepower and 1,400 foot-pounds of torque.
So what do you do with a truck show, like or a show truck, whatever? Like,
you break it.
I mean,
they tend to break a lot, but that all comes with, again, a lot of engine work done to it, and your friends kind of entice you. You start doing a burnout, and things just break. Like it's a lot of stupid stuff that goes into like the truck videos and everything. Like I was going down the Parkway the other day, doing like slow down to like 55, and I could start doing a burnout at 55 miles per hour, and it's just everything breaks. Wow. Everything just breaks. So
do you take it to like truck shows or something, or
yeah.
What is like a truck show? Like what are they doing there?
So there's a lot of vendors.
Okay.
There's a lot of big name YouTube people that make more like long form videos, and everyone like gives away show trucks and stuff now. That way, they get money. People are buying merch and everything. It goes towards this giveaway truck. These trucks are 150, 200,000 for everything that's done to them.
That's crazy.
It's insane. So a lot of vendors, big YouTube people, and then I guess it's mainly vendors that will pay people who built trucks to put on display there. So different wheel companies, different lighting companies, like they're called rock lights. They go underneath all the trucks. They light the whole underneath up.
Okay.
And like ring lights and stuff that go around the inside of the wheels. So your wheels will like light up, and everyone has polished wheels, so everything just reflects off of it. It looks really cool if you're into that. So yeah, like people just pay people that built their trucks, and essentially like it's just a truck show. It's kind of like a car show for like hot rods. Like I went to those growing up, just on a different scale. It's all lifted, lowered trucks because people are into those. There's usually burnout competitions, and
I was about to say, is there like any type of competition at these shows or anything?
So
like,
a lot of burnout competitions. They have a dyno there because most of them, I would say 80%, it's all diesel trucks, and diesels are very easy to get a lot of power out of. So they have a dyno contest to who's pushing the most power, and like some of these trucks are like 3,000 horsepower. It is insane.
That's a lot of power. I don't.
Yeah, you can't just drive that every day. Like these people build these trucks
just to have and show them.
Yes.
That's so interesting.
Yes, and they do these dyno runs.
Because I've never even been to a car show.
Really?
No, I'm not a car guy.
That's fair.
Like I got a
Did you get a new front bumper for your Jeep?
I totaled my Jeep. Yeah.
When did that?
That happened like I don't know, like a month and a half ago, probably the weekend before Labor Day.
I'm only laughing because I know you're okay because you're sitting.
Yeah, obviously I'm fine, but I totaled it like the weekend before Labor Day.
How?
Well, Fridays I work during the day. I wake up at like 4:30 in the morning to get to the gym, and I think it's a great idea to still bounce at night. So I work till like 2:30, 3-ish in the morning. After being up all day. So I was on like my 22nd, 23rd hour being up, and I kind of dozed off driving my vehicle. Very bad. I mean, I definitely should have pulled over onto the sidewalk or pulled over and like tried to take a nap. But I had drank a protein shake before I left work, and I had cotton mouth. And this is literally, I can tell exactly what happened. Like, I had cotton mouth, and I'm like, I don't have water in my car. I need to, and I was on Route 34, so there was no stretch where I could go to a 7-Eleven or anywhere to grab water.
Nothing.
So I kept looking around me because I'm like, I'm getting real tired, and there was no other cars around. It was like 3 in the morning. And I think I nodded off for like 2 seconds, and I woke up to a bump, and I wasn't on the road anymore. And I said, oh, shit. And then all of a sudden I hit a fire hydrant. Fire hydrant shot up the windshield, shattered the windshield. The windshield didn't completely come in, but there was glass everywhere. And I popped up in the air.
Wait, from the water?
No,
what broke the windshield?
The fire hydrant. It came detached and shot over the front of the hood.
Okay, it didn't come through the windshield and hit you. I feel like that's got to be heavy.
Well, yeah, no. I hit on the passenger side. So the whole thing my whole passenger side got dented, pushed in. Both the passenger front wheel came off, and the fire hydrant shot over the windshield, rolled up the windshield, shattered it. But I guess the windshields are thick, so the glass shattered in, and there was glass everywhere, but it didn't completely fly in.
Okay, it just
yeah. So it came.
Well, I think it's safety glass.
So it didn't explode. So, yeah. Then I popped up in the air after I hit the fire hydrant, I guess, because I kind of tried to shoot back onto the road. And I'm very calm in bad situations, I guess.
Yeah.
So
we're very similar in that fact.
Yeah. So I hit, and I went up in the air, and I just I was fully awake at this point, and all the airbags had already gone off when I hit the fire hydrant. So I'm just sitting there. I'm like, well, shit. I'm kind of here now. Can't really do anything. I just got to sit and try to figure this out.
You're still thirsty.
Yeah. I'm just thirsty right now. I need to get rid of this cotton mouth. So I hit the ground, and I popped back up onto the other wheels. I'm up on 2 wheels, or this way. I was up on 2, the wheel that was off, and then the back wheel. I was basically skidding out, and I felt like it was going to flip.
How fast were you going?
Probably 55, 60. It was 34. So I wasn't going I wasn't going over the speed limit or anything.
Yeah.
So I go up in the air, and then I'm like, oh shit, I landed. I'm up on 2 wheels, and I remember thinking, I'm like, okay, I landed. I feel fine. I braced myself real hard. I kept my elbows a little bent. I'm like, I don't want to shatter my arms, and I pushed my head back as hard as I could just to brace. And then I was up on the wheels. I'm like, oh shit. And I looked over my right shoulder to make sure no one was behind me, and I hit the gas and cut the wheel to the right because I thought that would get the wheels
get you back on the ground.
Yeah, and it did. And then I just skid out. I fishtailed all over the place, and I came to a stop. There was smoke everywhere. The car was extremely hot. I guess I've never been in a car with airbags going off, so the airbags create heat, I guess. The wheel well was completely collapsed. So I look around. I'm like, all right, this car's totaled, but I'm still thirsty. So I grabbed my phone.
Walk over to the fire hydrant, take a sip.
No, the water didn't explode or anything.
Really?
No,
That would have been so like dramatic effect.
it would have been, but it would have been cooler. But no, I literally just called my mom. I'm like, hey mom, I'm okay. I'm on Route 34 North. My car is completely totaled. Just bring me a water, if you can. And I'm like, don't panic. I gotta hang up.
Isn't this like 3 o'clock in the morning?
3 o'clock in the morning. She was probably in a dead sleep, and I called her.
At least she woke up.
Yeah, exactly. She keeps her phone by her, so I knew she would wake up. But I was like, Mom, I'm car's completely totaled. I'm fine. Just bring me a water. I'm gonna hang up now because I need to contact the police probably. And then, like, I guess a guy came, an off-duty EMS guy was driving Uber in his like spare time, I guess, or like later at night, and he was driving people home, and he came like up the highway, and he saw the whole thing from a distance, and he's like, "Oh my God, dude, are you okay?" Like, blah blah blah. I'm like, "Dude, I think I'm fine. I just really want water." Like, there's glass all over the car. There's glass in my shoes, so I had to take my shoes off. I was just standing on the side of the road at that point, and like the cop pulled up.
And you have no shoes on.
Yeah, I have no shoes. I mean, I'm
Mercy.
wearing a bright yellow shirt, and it said like Boatyard on it. So I said I was bouncing, and she's like, "How many drinks have you had tonight?" First thing I said, I was like, "None. I want a sobriety test immediately." I wanted that off the table.
Yeah.
Like, definitely get the DUI off the table. She was really nice about it. She gave me a ticket to failure to maintain lane. I was like, "Oh, I can't believe I didn't maintain a lane. Is this for real?" And obviously I was kidding, but. Yeah, no, I did it. Yeah, she chuckled a little bit. Okay. She was cool. She was nice. Like, because I was really apologetic. Like, I wasn't angry or anything. My car was totaled at that point. What's the point of making like a bad situation any worse?
You can't do anything about it.
No, can't do anything at that point. I was like, I'm lucky I'm even fine. Like,
it could have been so much worse.
I was standing there. I was fully convinced I was hurt. I was like thinking like there's like obviously
something's got to be wrong.
I'm like, you hear about those situations like bad accidents or something like that, and people like the adrenaline's pumping. They don't realize they're hurt. So I'm standing on the side of the road. Like I did a couple squats to see.
Make sure everything moved correctly.
Yeah, I'm like, because my legs, I had like 2 little cuts on my shins from the airbag that deployed under the wheel well.
Okay.
And that was it. And I'm like, there's no way I'm not actually hurt. So, and then eventually, my mom did come. She picked me up. She brought the water, which was cool.
Very good.
And yeah, I got home. I'm like, I can't believe I'm not hurt. Like the EMS even checked. They like took my vitals. My blood pressure was perfect. My heart rate was like 70. And they're like, how are you so calm? And they're like, how are you so calm? I'm like, well, dude, the car's totaled now. Like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah,
like,
there's literally nothing you can do.
They didn't have water either.
That's crazy.
I know. That's what I was
What
shocked
if you
at.
were dying of thirst?
I basically was. I basically could have died of thirst, like indirectly. But yeah, no, dude. I got home and I'm like, I just cannot believe that I'm not hurt. I did a couple sit-ups. I did a couple push-ups. I'm like, okay, I feel fine. I'm going to sleep. I woke up the next morning and went to the gym, and dude, no pain.
What'd you drive?
I think I took my sister's car. I took someone's car.
What are you driving now?
I got a Kia Sorento.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good little commuter car.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not cool that it happened, but I was already thinking about selling my Jeep because I commute 80 miles full circle every day.
Yeah.
So it was getting like 17 miles to the gallon. I'm like, this is just ridiculous. Like this much gas being used. And I'm not a car guy at all. Like I love my Jeep to death, but I'm not a car. I really don't care about cars.
You just want something that's going to get you point A
to
point B.
I was like, I want to sell this Jeep anyway and get something different, get a hybrid or something. And I ended up totaling it. The insurance company gave me way more than I thought I would get for it.
I was going to ask how you made out with insurance.
Yeah, like my parents are like, oh, you got to negotiate with them because you're probably going to lowball you the first offer. First offer came. I'm like, this is way higher than I thought. I'm like, this is like 10 grand higher than I thought they were going to give me.
Yeah,
so
like, I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Yeah, like I'm not arguing with this because they're going to come back with a lower number. And ended up getting a Kia Sorento hybrid, and now it gets like 36 miles to the gallon, and I think it's even bigger than my Jeep.
That's awesome. I was going to say, Sorento is like the SUV, right?
It's the big one. It has it has 3 rows of seats. It has captain seats as the back seats. Actually, I was working an event one weekend for work, obviously, and there was like a halfway point where you got a little break in the middle, and the back seats, they're captain seats, and they like lay back. So I sat in the back seat of my car to just try to take a little nap.
Yeah, rest up a little bit.
I didn't realize that I had like the child safety locks on when I got in, and I'm a very big guy, so I couldn't. The car, I kept hitting the unlock button on the keys, and it wouldn't let me out of the car. So I couldn't. I was too big to climb through the front seat, so I had to like crawl out the trunk. And the event, I was parked like near the event, so everyone just saw me crawl out of the trunk.
Crawl out of the trunk of your car. That is something you would do, though. I don't expect anything less.
I didn't know what to do. I was like, I was gonna try to ask someone outside to like open my car door, but yeah, I ended up. No one was walking by. They were all behind me, so I
Just pop the trunk open.
just popped the trunk and crawled out and acted like nothing happened.
Did anybody say anything?
No, they were all pretty much looking in my direction when I crawled out.
You might have just felt like they were looking in your direction.
There was like 25 or 30 of them all staring my way.
Nobody saw it.
I mean, I think they definitely all saw it, and I just owned it. I acted like it was completely normal.
How long did you try to open the door?
Oh, it was 5 minutes because I really didn't want to have to do that.
So everyone's watching your silhouette in the car moving around.
The back windows are tinted, so there's no way they saw into the back. But no, I was just like, I'm just gonna own this at this point.
Yeah,
So I opened the trunk when I was like near it already, and it just popped open. I just rolled out and then just hit the button. And I walked right up.
totally casual.
Yeah, totally casual. Kept a straight face. Acted like it was just a normal occurrence.
Yeah, that's how I always get out of my car.
Yeah, I'm like this is just a normal thing.
What do you mean you don't do that?
But being I'm not even a car guy. The car like basically drives itself now.
That's what I just bought a Honda Civic, right? Bought it like 3 months ago because the whole truck thing,
Yeah.
living far from work, it's just not ideal. So ordered this car, whatever, came in 37 miles to the gallon. It's got the adaptive cruise control, the lane assist, everything. It just drives itself.
Yeah, no, mine has adaptive cruise control too, and then it had this like steering wheel button on the wheel on the steering wheel. It's like
Yeah.
a picture of a steering wheel. Like I wonder what this does. And I'm on like 287 on a straightaway, so I just hit it, and I'm like, okay, I can't really turn the wheel right now. This is weird. I wonder if it just locked my wheel. I mean, no, like a bend started coming up, and it like it went
Takes the
around
turn.
it went around the bend for me and everything. I'm like, okay, so now I could just sit there and take my hands off the wheel for like 10 seconds, and it drives me.
Yeah,
I mean,
will start beeping at you.
It starts beeping and
It's
yelling
like,
at
"Grab
me.
the steering wheel.
Yeah, great.
There's a trick to that.
What?
At least with the Civic, you take a water bottle, you shove it in the steering wheel, and it thinks that you're holding the steering wheel.
Well, I mean, dude, I'd rather just have my hand on the wheel.
Yeah, but if you didn't want to,
What am I gonna do? What am I doing that I need my hand off the wheel?
relaxing, taking a nap in the back.
I mean, I don't think they're fully adaptive.
Not actually. Grab your steering wheel, people.
Yeah, no, it's not adaptive. It's not fully at Tesla's level yet.
Yeah, no, neither is mine.
It's
And I did the water bottle trick the one time, and then I had to make a turn. I was off the Parkway. I forgot the water bottle was there, and it jammed my steering wheel from making a full right, and I almost full on went into oncoming traffic.
Yeah, so the water bottle sounds like a terrible idea now.
It was good until it wasn't.
Yeah, maybe on the Parkway it's fine.
Yeah.
But no, I took the car up to Poughkeepsie, New York. It was great and got crazy mileage. Like, doesn't cost me as much to fill up at all as the Jeep. And I think like this one, I get like when I fill it up, it says 500 something miles till empty.
Yeah, I was going from, with my commute, I fill up like every 3 days between the truck and the car. They both 3 days I get, with the commute, and $130 in the truck, $33 in the car. It's like the car paid for itself. And then, we had to reschedule this because last week I get a knock on the door at 7:30 in the morning, and some high school kid sideswiped it.
What do you like? Just parked on like a neighborhood street?
So, never park in the street. Everything usually goes in the driveway. Like, I got truck, got the car. She has her car, whatever. I had my truck because I had to tow a trailer to the track. So she pulled everything out of the driveway, so I could back the truck back up to the back of the driveway because it usually doesn't move. So that goes first.
Yeah.
And she pulled her car back in, and I was like, I'm taking the car tomorrow. Like, I'll just leave it in the street. That was a bad idea. Bad idea. The one night that it stayed on the street, someone hit it in the morning. But he stopped. Very young kid. He was probably 17 years old. I watched like the Ring doorbell. He was very nervous on the doorstep. He's like shaking. He's checking his wallet for money. And I just walked out with my cup of coffee, and I was like, thanks for stopping. Sorry, but I need to call the cops so this goes through insurance. Because the mirrors now, because it has all the self-driving stuff, there's so many sensors in it.
I feel like there's so many sensors. Because mine has the front sensor. It has a backup sensor. Mine beeps when I back up, I think my sister told me. And then it has the blind spot mirrors too.
Yeah, it's got so much technology. And I'm like, I'm not just going to take whatever $500 cash from this kid. He was like, I'll call my dad. Like, I'll get money. And I'm like, I can't. I don't know how much his mirror is going to be. So that was last week that happened. I think it was last week.
It was like, I think it was over the weekend. Or
Friday?
Maybe, yeah.
It was
like
Friday, Thursday or Friday, whenever it was. And so now the car is just sitting there, and I'm waiting for the police report to be ready so I can actually get it fixed. So now the car is just sitting there.
Yeah, that sucks.
Good investment, though. That was
I
probably my best purchase over the past, 5 years.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm very happy with my car. And then I think the only thing with, like, the adaptive cruise control I noticed, if I switch lanes and I'm too close to the car that I switched lane, like, if
slams on the brakes.
It hits the brakes so hard.
Yep. And then I'm like, every time it happens, I'm like, I'm going to get rear-ended.
Oh, yeah, no.
I was going to slam into the back.
So now I'm getting into the habit. I still make the mistake sometimes because I'm not fully used to it yet. But, like, I have to put my foot on the gas to switch lanes.
Yep.
Because is yours a hybrid?
No.
So when you're, like, say you're in traffic, like mine stops me when I'm in traffic too. It stops me hard, though.
Yeah. It's like, you don't think it's going to stop.
No.
Because you're coming in hot, and then it just slams on the brakes.
Like, I've had things fly off the seat before because I'm like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, is this thing going to stop? Like, I'm doing 60, and, like, the traffic's all the way up here. I put it into distance 4, and it eases into it a little bit better. But still, like...
But you can't have it in distance 4 while you're on the highway.
No,
because then it keeps you 3/4 of a mile behind the car in front of you, and you have it set on 78, and you're doing 63.
Yeah, because the car. No, I usually if I'm like riding, I'll keep it on like distance, probably 1 or 2.
Yeah, which is still, when you're at high speed, it's still a decent.
It's still distant. It's more than a car length, more than a couple car lengths almost. I think.
I'd say it's safe.
Yeah, I definitely think it's safe. It just brakes really hard. I thought it was because mine's a hybrid and like braking charges it. But I'm glad to know that it's just like these things.
Mine's not a hybrid. It still does it. Or the worst, not even when you switch lanes, when somebody goes in front of you.
Oh, it just brakes for you.
It just slams on the brakes.
Yeah, so.
And everyone behind you is honking. They're waving their hands at you. You're like, it's my car. I didn't do it.
Yeah, and then sometimes I'm even at stoplights when I start going again, you just flick the little switch on mine and it'll go for you. It takes so long to get to like accelerate, for it to actually accelerate because I have it in eco mode. So it just like... Dude, I'll be doing like
slowest acceleration.
Dude, there's no acceleration. I think it takes me probably like 20 seconds to get from 0 to like 60. It doesn't do anything.
More fuel efficient.
Exactly. That's what I'm after. And it's like a nice leisure ride in the morning. I'm like, I got like a 45-minute commute to work. What am I rushing for?
That's my thing. I have probably about an hour and 15 minutes.
Mine turned into an hour and 15 minutes.
Because you moved?
No. I live 10 minutes away from here. Where I grew up and where I was living at home.
Then how'd your commute get longer?
Rutgers is in session now, and Route 18 is the worst highway in the country.
Yes.
Basically to me, because I've never been around the country, but like if you go to Route 18 in like Old Bridge in East Brunswick, I think they closed, like it went down to 1 lane basically. So the first day that it happened, I was getting to work like an hour early every day, like 45 minutes to an hour early every day. And they closed 2 lanes without telling me. I mean, I guess I'm not that important of a person that they're just
going to call you.
No, they're not going to let me know. And I was sitting in traffic for 2.5 hours. I ended up being like an hour late to work.
You told me about this.
I'm like, I texted my boss. I'm like, dude, I left the gym at 7 today, and I'm not going to be there till 10. He's like, what? I'm like, traffic, and I sent him a screenshot of like the GPS, and it said like 2.5 hours left, and I was like 12 miles away. He's like, Jesus, dude. He's like, just get here, you're fine.
I used to commute from Manahawkin to Eatontown.
Okay.
right down the street
Yeah.
here. When I worked at Audi, ton of traffic Monday morning going north on the Parkway during the summer. So it took me a back way. Traffic going the back way, and I was already texting my boss. I'm like, listen, I'm going to be late. Sorry. And then I got into a car accident.
Yeah, no.
Rear-ended someone, and then I was really late to work.
Yeah, no, dude, my GPS, because I leave from Iron Rev every morning. So some days it'll take, I always put it in the GPS now because I need to know, like, the best route.
I do the same thing. I know how to get to work.
I can get to work easy.
Use it every single time.
No matter what. Because, dude, for when they first shut down Route 18, it would have me either do 195 to, like, the Parkway in, like, the Wall area and go up the Parkway.
Okay.
Sometimes it would take me Route 9 the whole way onto the Parkway, which Route 9 is just terrible. There's like
it's got to be a terrible drive.
Well, because Route 9, if you hit one stoplight, you hit every single one the whole ride.
Yep.
And they're all like close. So there's that, and then dude, for 2 days it took me to 195 West, and all the way out to Route 1. And then I would go up Route 1 and get on 18 in New Brunswick. It was the weirdest, most roundabout way I've ever seen.
That's weird.
But it was still only like an hour. Like, all of them are like basically an hour. Because I guess where Middlesex is in New Jersey, where Nutribio is, the town. It's Middlesex, the town.
Yeah.
Like next to Bridgewater. I guess you can go out west, and then 18, it's basically at the end of 18 where Middlesex is, where Nutribio is.
That's like where I live now. I work in Toms River. Okay, so I'm like way southwest corner of New Jersey. And middle of New Jersey on the shore is where I work. I can go two different ways. It is the same amount of time, depending on traffic, but I can take whatever highway it is to Route 70 and just take Route 70 all the way into Toms River, or I do Atlantic City Expressway to the Parkway and go up. It's just like, they just kind of go like that, and they all go to the same place. Same amount of time. It just depends on traffic, which way I go in the morning.
Yeah, no, dude. I did that the Route 1 route, and I've never had to get on 18 in New Brunswick next to Rutgers, or it's legitimately 10 toll booths that immediately go down to 2 lanes.
And nobody knows what to do.
No.
It's like, who's going first? I have no idea.
Because, like, the people that are in the far right they're trying to get left. I'm like in the middle because I didn't know I didn't know where my exit was. I'm like, I'm just gonna get in the middle, play it safe, because then I can get both ways. Dude, there's one day there was a guy with like a 2x4 sticking like 3 feet out of his short little truck bed. He had like a 4-foot truck bed with 2x4s, and he's like pointing at me. I'm like, dude, do whatever you got to do, because I'm not going to try to cut you off.
Yeah,
like,
just go.
Dude, he was completely what is that, perpendicular to the traffic?
Yeah.
Trying to get across. I'm like, yo, what is going on here?
Where do you have to go? He's over in the left lane right now.
Dude, he literally just drove a straight line across the traffic at a right angle and then just turned into to get off on the left side.
Okay, the exit was on the left side.
Yeah, so I'm like,
that makes sense.
I'm just like, I'm never taking this way again. I don't know. I don't care if it saves me time, because I sat there for 45 minutes just in that like mess.
Not worth it.
And it was when I had the new car, so I couldn't be like too aggressive. I'm like, I don't want to get my car hit.
You don't want to scratch it. Don't want any dents. Don't want to lose your front bumper, because a few times that we met up when you had your Jeep, you were just missing a front bumper or a piece of the bumper.
No, I was missing the whole front bumper.
It was the whole front bumper.
Yep. That was cool.
Yeah.
Gave the car character, but not a lot of people noticed that the front bumper was actually missing, because it didn't look that weird.
I think I noticed it.
Well, you're a car guy.
I guess maybe I just noticed those things.
Yeah, no. I mean, what happened that was from North Carolina, though, because I was out driving on the beach in North Carolina.
That's right.
And
when we were in Outer Banks.
I was in the Outer Banks, and I guess I don't know, like the sand wasn't. It's not the easiest thing to drive on. I guess the car's not made for that.
I rented a Jeep Wrangler. It was much better.
Well, yeah. So I had a Grand Cherokee. It drove great on the sand, but I think I kept bouncing up and down, and then something got detached, and it just snapped off. But then I finally got it to a mechanic, and he just put it back on. It just snapped back into place.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't fully broken or anything. So
easy fix.
Yeah, no, it was cool.
Definitely took you a while, because I definitely saw you a few times, and you did not have a front bumper.
No, I was just keeping it safe. I didn't want to put it back on. It gave the car character.
Yeah.
But
unlike every other Grand Cherokee.
Yeah, no, I was different. It's the most popular car in the world right now, I think, the Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
And
they're all
SUV.
white.
Well, yeah, because that's the only one that was on the lot. That's why I bought it.
So did everybody else.
Well, no, I was gonna get one with I was gonna get like a navy blue one that was really nice.
I
But
remember you sent me that one.
it had a sunroof, and
That way your head fit.
I couldn't
Or
fit.
it didn't fit.
My head didn't fit with the sunroof.
Why do you got to be so tall?
Dude, it's so crazy what car, like how much a sunroof will take off the roof of a car. People don't realize that.
You know what I don't realize? How people drive like the Camaros and stuff. I'm like 5'9" on a good day.
So
depending on the shoes I'm wearing.
Funny enough, before I bought the Infinity, I was looking at Camaros, and the Camaro with the sunroof, I actually couldn't get a sunroof with that, but I'd fit in the Camaro.
That's when I worked at Audi. We had one traded in. I didn't understand how people drove them because my head was almost touching the roof.
I didn't like the view I had in the Camaro. It was very weird windshield.
It's like very closed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a fan. You're not a car guy anyway. You don't want a Camaro.
No, I just wanted something. I was just like, I thought I wanted a sedan. I got the Infinity, and the Infinity was great. And then I had the Jeep, and now I have a Kia. And I'm probably going to hopefully keep that for like 10 years.
You should. Kias last forever.
That's
what
what I
they
think.
have like a unlimited engine warranty or something?
Something like that. They have some crazy type of warranty on it.
Drive it forever.
I don't know. My boy hooked me up with it. He said it was a good deal. And I was like, yeah, it seems like a good
deal, Sean.
Well, no, it seemed like a great deal. He hooked me up. It was cool. He's not working at Kia anymore, though. I was like his last
Gave
car.
you too good of a deal, so he got fired.
Well, no, he quit, but I got the deal before he left.
That's good.
Yeah, but I think this was a good episode. We can wrap it up here for Unorganized with Shawnee Shore, whatever episode number this is. And I'll see you guys next time.